Hello there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Hope you're all doing well today. As you can see, I've got my sewing machine ready to go. I did mention in my last video that I would do a bit of sewing on camera as requested by one of my subscribers, and I'd show you the sewing machine that I'm using. So I think what I'll do first, I'll just take the camera off its tripod and show you the sewing machine, and just so you can have a look and see what I'm using. It's a very basic one, and then I'll put it back on and I'll do a bit of sewing on camera. We'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Right, so here it is. This is my sewing machine. It's about a year old. I haven't had it very long. I bought it about this time last year, and you can see it's a Brother, and the code is LS14S, and it really is fairly straightforward. It's probably much like any other. It doesn't do an awful lot of stitches. This is the dial that shows you the stitches. So there's various lengths of straight stitch, and there's 3 different types of zigzag stitch, and that's about it. It does buttonholes, not that I'm ever going to have need for that. The other bits in between, not quite sure. I think they're all to do with buttonholes. I really only use the straight stitches. Usually I put it on number 8 for the straight stitches, occasionally number 9. And on the zigzag I usually use number 3, which is the middle one, and sometimes I'll do some smaller ones if it's a smaller item that I'm sewing, and do use the number 2. So that's pretty much it really. That is the sewing machine. I'll just show you close up here. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty standard sort of a thing. I'm sure everybody's got a version not unlike this one. So that's it. That's my sewing machine. So I'll turn you off and I'll put you back on my tripod and we'll do a bit of sewing. Right, so here we are back again. And these are the items I'm going to sew because I know I'm going to use these. I've got a whole load of journaling cards or ephemera that I've cut out. These are all from the 2 kits, mainly from the Home Book and Treasure kit and from Caroline's Craft Tree, I think. Yeah, I think these are Caroline's Craft Tree. So these are all just ephemera items that I've cut out, and I've now backed them all with various different types of paper and inked them all. When I need to use them, when I decide which ones I'm going to use, I'll probably sew them then. I don't think I'll sew them in advance in case I end up using them, either not using them at all or using them for something where they just get stuck down, so there's no point in sewing them at this stage. So that's those, but the ones I know I will likely to be used as journaling cards and do need to be sewn around are the 2 postcards. Oh, is that upside down? Yes. So there's this postcard and this postcard. I know that I want to put one of these in the envelope I did with the flip out envelope that we put into the journal. And there is an envelope that needs something tucking in, and I think it's probably going to be that one, but I'm going to sew around both of them and decide which one I'm going to use. And then for the other one of the pockets, I remember I made this journaling card, which I've now rebacked. It was on a card and it was too flimsy, so I've put another piece of coffee dyed just lined paper that I've put on the back. So in fact the bit of lace has ended up inside, so I'm going to just sew around that as well, just to give it a nice edge. So I'm just going to start with these, and I'm going to do this on a straight stitch. Just go straight all the way around with a straight stitch. So just get that set up and try and reach my pedal. Right, okay, I'm just putting it in and tighten that up. Never quite sure what tension to put it on. I'll just, right, let's go. Whoops, hang on, turn it on. That's a good idea. Turn it on. Why wasn't it working? Because I hadn't turned it on. There we go. Now it should work. Okay. Last row. Okay. So release the needle. There we are. So that's the first one. So not too bad. It's fairly straight, really. You can see in the back. Got a bit close to the edge there, but that's okay. It's just to give it a little bit of finish. So I'm just going to do the same on this one. Okay. Out. I do like the effect the sewing has when I get it right. So definitely looks like this stamp has been put on the wrong way up. I mean, this is on the ephemera piece, and the postcard says that way up. That's what keeps confusing me. If you look, the stamp is the other way up on the postcard, which is a little odd. I keep thinking, is that the right way up? Yes, I think it is, but that isn't. Never mind. Can always decorate it up a bit and put a stamp. Might even do that. Might put a stamp on there when I come to use it. And then this one, I think I'm going to do this in a zigzag all the way around. So just move my dial around to the number 3, and we'll give that a go. Always a little bit more challenging doing the zigzags, but I do like the look of it. Okay, let's go. My legs are a bit short, so I sometimes have trouble reaching the pedal. When I'm properly on my chair and comfortable, I sometimes struggle a bit to reach my pedal, so I have to look where it is because my foot's not quite in the right place. But I think I'm there, and away we go. That way. So I'm trying to do the approved Gail Agostinelli trick for going round corners, which she explained on one of her videos, or probably more than once, and I do try to do it her way. I don't always get it right, she's the person I have learned any kind of technique from, if I've learned any, which isn't much. Okay. Right, that's it. Okay, not bad for me. It was pretty even, as you can see. You can probably see better on the other side. It's pretty straight, and I managed to get the corners that the way the Gail explains to go around the corners. It's pretty well worked. Apart from this bit, obviously, where I've done a little bit of back stitching just to make sure it stays in place and to make it nice and secure. Right, so that's the fabric strip journaling card, all sewn. I hope you can see that. All sewn, back and front. And there we are. I think that's enough sewing for now. So I've done my little demo. Hopefully that's what you wanted to see, Frank. This is for you. And now I'm going to put the sewing machine aside, and I've got a couple of pockets I want to make, so I'll get on with that next. Right, so I'm back now. I've put the sewing machine down on the floor by the side of my desk, which is where it lives when I'm not using it. And now I want to make a start on making a few pockets for my journal. Sorry about that, that was my phone. It's got a WhatsApp message come through. I'll look at later. Now I have sewn a few pockets with the ephemera that came with the kit, one of the kits. Never quite sure which one. I think this is probably Home Book and Treasure. And I've just sewn around them, as you can see. I'm fine sewing on the straight, but going around the thumb holes was a bit challenging. As you can see, I go a little bit off piece, but not too bad. So there was that one, and that was one of the postcards. I also did actually sew these two postcards, as pockets, and I've now made them into journaling cards as well. I just reprinted them, so I've got the option of whether they're going to be a pocket or a journaling card. And then this was another postcard. So these are all from the kit, and I will probably use them. They're just standard postcards. I might do a bit of decorating on them when I come to use them. Probably will. But I also fancied making a few perhaps slightly different pockets. Pam at the Paper Outpost does amazing work with book pages, making all sorts of pockets and all sorts of things. And in fact, I made this for myself a while ago from somebody I saw who I'll try and find and link how she made this actual ephemera holder, I suppose you'd call it, or idea. I think she called it an idea book. And a lot of the things I've just done prototypes. I've just done it out of book pages, and then I've done a little card to tell me where I can find it when I want to make it again. And I've just filled it with a variety of prototypes of a pocket. So this is another one I think I might have a go at making this one as well, because I like this. Just the idea that you can just pop in things so that if somebody gets the journal, they can just put photographs in there or little notes, or I can put a few journaling cards in and they can write, and then you get quite a lot of things filling places to put stuff on the page. So I like that one, and it's nice and simple to make, so that might be another one I do. There's a whole bunch of different things in here that I've had to go at and just got here just to say, oh yes, I'd like to have another go at that, and then I'll make a note on each one where I saw it being done on YouTube. So that was that. So I was going to plunge into that, but this week, or recently anyway, I saw another YouTube video by Pam at the Paper Outpost where she was making another sort of similar pocket to what she's made before. there it goes again. I'm sorry about my phone. There's a few things going on between in the family that they keep sending me WhatsApp messages, or we keep sending each other WhatsApp messages to follow it up. So I'm going to make the one that Pam made most recently on YouTube, which actually, this is my first effort, which, sorry phone, stand up. So I'm using my phone to time myself so I don't go too far over the hour. So this was the one I made. So it's just basically a little pocket that you put on your page, and it's got 2 pockets here, and you can either put one behind here or you can tuck it either side, whichever way you like. So, and then I've decorated it with some of the papers and things that I had already cut into. So I want to make another one, but I want to make a slightly bigger one. I may use both of them because they'll probably be a little bit different in the end. And the papers I'm going to use for this one, which I printed off a little while ago and I haven't got around to using yet. This is a sampler kit by Roxy Creations, and I just think because it's all samples of embroidery, really, old vintage embroidery samplers. It's a really beautiful kit and I really love it. So I thought I might start using some of this, and I think I'm going to do a collage sheet with these as well, which I will then cut up into various shapes, some tags. I need some more tags. I haven't got many tags. And maybe I'd like to do some corner pockets. I might do that as well. So this is the kit from Roxy Creations that I'm going to be using for the next few things. So this is a bigger sampler, and this is a full page one. So you can see it's all embroidery. It's so beautiful, and the colours are gorgeous. That goes around that way, and that one is the last one, I think. Oh no, one more. So it's a really full kit. I mean, there's loads here. Beautiful stuff. So I think I'm going to use some bits of this to decorate this pocket, and possibly I'm certainly going to make a collage with it, maybe in my next video. So let's get started on making this pocket. I made myself a few just so that I've got the hang of what I need to do, and so I can get an idea. This is some book page that I use a lot because it's a good size, so you can cut it to any size that you want. I'm just going to tear it down, hoping that's straight. But what I found, I've made them before, they don't very often end up completely true, so I just trim it down to make sure it's all straight afterwards. And I want to make the pocket about, I think about 4.25, so it's not too, doesn't take up too much of the page. So I'm going to go to about, I think that's big enough. It's plenty wide enough to put a journaling card or two on in there without it taking over too much of the page. Then you've got room to tuck something behind it if you want to. Right, so I'm just going to put that there. Now I like to tear on the left side. This is always the tricky part, is keeping it together when you're tearing it. Right, I think we're there. I like this ruler because it's not really a tearing ruler. I do have one that does the jaggedy edgy tearing, but I like a straight ruler to do this. And what I really love about this one, it's got this cork backing, so it gives you a bit of grip, because I find because I haven't got a lot of strength in my hands to hold it down, it just gives me that bit of grip, which really makes a difference. And it doesn't slide all over the place when you're trying to hold it down. Okay. So now you've got the 2 pieces of paper cut to the size, and then you turn them upside down. And this will all make sense in a moment. And I'm sure I will link Pam's Sorry about that. My phone again. It's lively on the group, on the family group chat this afternoon. Okay, so I'm just going to fold that up, leaving a reasonable amount above it so you can put a, let's try and get it straight. That's always the tricky part. Get that straight, fold it down, and then you fold this one up so it's about halfway up or so, wherever it makes sense to do it. And try and keep that straight too. And that's pretty much it. That is your pocket done. So you can see it's a considerably bigger than this one, but then you can fit a bit more in it. And I could trim off the top. I might trim this down a little bit, just so it's not quite so. And as you can see, I'm not completely lined up, but once I've stuck it down, I'll just trim it with my trimmer and it'll all be beautifully lined up, and that's all good. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm doing mine slightly in a different order to Pam, in that I will do the stick the two pieces together right away, so they don't, so that then they're not going to move around. Oh wait. So, well, yeah, just stick the back one to the front one. That's the key. Key for me is get them stuck together, and then they're easier to manipulate and do things with once they're stuck together. I hope this is going to work out okay. Okay, that's stuck. Shift it across a little bit. Alright, so that one's stuck there. And then the next thing to do, which I didn't do the first time because I forgot to do it, is to actually stick something on this back piece, because that's the only bit that's upside down. So you want to cover that. I actually will cover the whole, pretty much the whole of it, because I like the look of it being covered with papers. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is to trim off the top, and I'm going to use my trimmer. So I think that's just a little bit too big at the top there, a little bit too tall. I'll trim. Okay. And then I'm going to have a look at these. Find a nice piece that's going to. No, that doesn't look. That's not very straight there, is it? That pocket has not been folded straight. I can see that. That's. Try and line it up. If you line it up with the writing, you're more likely to get it in the right place. I think. Oh, are we there yet? And this one, is that straight? Straighter now. It's always best to get your pockets straight to start with, because I can trim it down that side. Right, so I need a piece of one of these pieces of what they call them, samplers, that will just fit in there. That, perhaps if there's one a little bit wider, that would be nice. See what we've got. Oh, that's rather nice. That can be wide. Yeah, it's not quite wide enough. That's wider. Not quite. Particularly that way round. I love this one, but it's just not quite wide enough. So I think I'm going to have to use probably that one. I don't think there's anything else that will be quite right. Well, these are the wrong way round. No, they're not quite wide enough, the other ones, so I think that's the one I will use. Where are you, ruler? There you are. Okay, and the same here. I'll make sure it's... I always like to tear on the bigger side, whichever side there is more to get hold of. That's the side I'll tear it on. Otherwise, I find it harder to keep it under control. Right. So let's have a look, see how that fits there. Or I can go right up to the top, can't I, there? Yep, that's so good. I think what I'll do is I'll stick it and then I'll trim it. And let's put I'll do it with this one. Yeah, maybe I will. I think I will use this. I may well also go round it, sew round it afterwards. Whoops. Hold that back. Otherwise I'm just going to end up gluing the pocket shut, aren't I? Right. Okay. Yep. Just fits underneath, but that's fine. It just is enough. And then I'm going to trim it. And this side as well. So that's the first one. And then I can glue this one down now, can't I? Yep. Glue this one in place and then decorate the next pocket. Right, there we are. Okay. So you don't really need a very deep piece, but it needs to be wide enough. Although I don't need to have, it doesn't need to be just one piece. Let's see if I can use a bit of that lovely red that I saw earlier. Lost it now. Oh, there it is. So I could use a bit of that. Or I use that. That's not going to lose the. I might use him on the bottom one because you can get the picture then. Okay. So what about that? That's plenty big enough. Okay. Let's not worry too much. I'm going to use just this page. So last time I did this, when I decorated this one, I made the mistake of sticking it all together first and then having to slot in all the bits of paper and work around where I'd stuck it down. And so I learned from that. That's the joy. That's the thing about doing a prototype first, is to actually do the decorating before I stick each pocket down, and then it's much easier. So I'm wondering if I need something across there just to... Right. A very thin piece. It will just give me a bit of an edge, finished edge, because it's quite it's all blendy, isn't it? So if I was to use a bit of that first, would that work better, to have a little bit of this on the edge and then put that? Maybe it would. Okay, I might just put this down first. And then see if it needs a little trim. But I'll ink it, and that might be sufficient to show the edge. What am I doing? Don't need that. I need that. Okay. Yep. Right. Oh, ink first, Karen, then stick. Not the other way around. This makes life too hard. Ink this top edge, then stick it down. Okay. So I didn't even worry about taking this off because it's all going to be inside the pocket, so it doesn't really matter too much about that. And then trim this off. And again, my trimming is not particularly exact because I'm going to actually trim the whole pocket a little bit with my trimmer just to tidy it all up at the end. That's that. And then on the bottom one, no, it wasn't that piece. I was thinking about this piece here, which would probably be about the right size, wouldn't it? So I quite like having an actual seam on the front, on the very front. That's quite nice. Let's have a look at it. See how it fits. Oh, that wasn't very straight, was it? Never mind. I'll sort it out in a moment. And then this one. What was I saying about it not slipping? Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so that can go on there. Or if I put it at the bottom there, where does it? What I could do is actually tuck it around. That will give it a little bit more strength at the top, wouldn't it? Yeah, might do that. And there we are. There's our pocket made of samplers. quite like that because you can see it's all sewn. Actually, I think I'm going to use my glue stick for this one. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, no, I won't ink it because I'm going to tuck the top round. Right, I'll ink it after I've done it, after I've stuck it, but before I've stuck it, the pocket down itself. Doing everything in the right order is always a good idea. Alright. Okay. Okay. Oops. There we are. Got my card. They're ready. Oops. Careful. Don't want to glue the pocket shut, do we? And I've just got enough to tuck that around the edge of the pocket, which will give it a nice strong edge, which I didn't think to do on this pocket. I should have done. Each time, learn something new. Yep. So that's it. And then I can just glue down the pocket itself. And let's put my top on that glue. Whoop, there we go. Okay. That's there. Now I'll just bring in my trimmer to just tidy it all up. And the other side. That's it. And of course I did forget to ink it before I stuck it, didn't I? Never mind. Put that in. A little bit of ink along the edge. And around the outside. I might still put on a little bit of extra decoration just at the front here. I don't know if it really needs it. I think it's really quite sweet the way it is. Let's have a look. I think with this one being a little bit of a scene, I think that just gives you the focal point to the whole pocket, and I think that's rather nice. Let's have a look at perhaps if I just pop a few of my cards in there, the ones that I've backed but haven't yet sewn. That's possibly going to be a bit big. I've got a variety of sizes. I don't think the ones with the buttons necessarily go with this pocket or this style of pocket. More the these sort of vintagey things about sewing machines. Maybe that would go behind. Something like that. Oops. This one's... That's it. A couple of things in there. And there we are. We have a rather nice stuffed pocket. I think that's quite nice. I don't know quite where it'll go in the journal because it's quite a different style to the papers I've used in some of the places, because the journal has got a variety of papers in it, so it'll fit in somewhere. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And then this little one, I don't know, where are we? Where's my little pocket gone? I'd quite like to use this as well because it's a very different style, so it will look different. And I may have, I'll either use some of these ready-made cards, but I might make some small tags as well. I have made a few tags, but I need to definitely make some more tags. So I think my next thing to do will be to do a collage sheet using some of these lovely samplers and make a few tags and maybe one or two more pockets or journaling cards, seeing how it goes. Right, so that's that. Still got a little bit of time left, but I don't know if I've really got time to make anything else from scratch, so it's probably best if I finish this video now and then go on to do some more things. I've got another multiple pocket I want to make, but I don't think I can make it in the 10 minutes I've got left in this video. I don't. So I think I will start the next video with this other pocket that I've got in mind. This was a pocket that I saw, I think it's on Tina's YouTube video, Shabby Dabby Doodah. So I want to make one of the pocket I saw her making, and then I'll do the collage and see if we can make some things out of the collage as well. So that'll be in the next video. So I do hope you'll join me again. Thank you for joining me today. And like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.